Welcome to another episode of Knifemaking Down Under podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about, I have no idea, we're just going to do ramble some shit. Don't expect any professional stuff, just in case you guys don't know us by now. So, I'm back, and here we have Corin Urquhart, also known as Corin Hart from Gameco, and we have Merry Christmas Kev from Kev's Forge. What's happening, guys? Long time no see.
Well,
yeah, it was at least a week.
Yeah, it was a week, 1 minute and 27 seconds since we saw you with the delay that we had. That was pretty interesting. Do you remember last week how we were talking about Hammons and swords?
Can you
hang on.
Can you hear me? Nah, just shit.
Yeah.
It was fucking awful, man. Like, I know you guys were on the subject. I'm like, yes, I know. I want to be part of it. Then you guys will go 30 seconds and you'll stop. What, man? Why are you stopping the? It was bad. We had a storm last week, so for those who don't know what happened, I had my setup and I was waiting, and then we had a storm, and during the storm the internet gone shit, so I dropped out. But this week I'm here. Corin, what have you been up to, man? It's been a week since we talked last time. He's eating now. Yes,
yeah, I am actually. I've been really busy. It's just the end of the year chaos. We had 2 power outages today, which took the servers out. So our phones went down and everything. Yesterday and today. So sorry to all the disruption, but it really disrupted us more than it disrupted you. And we've got a container in US Customs that was supposed to be shipped a month ago, and it's been sitting on the wharf full of everybody's orders.
I'm sure they're holding it, thinking they got the votes in them or something.
Whatever. I'm sure they're doing it because I keep getting on Trump's Twitter account and telling him to quit, loser. But anyway, that's all right.
We've got a few people filtering in on the comments. Corin's the only one that's got access to see everyone that's coming on through all the different streams. So if we miss saying, I think so. So if we miss saying g'day to anyone in particular, no offense, get over it.
Except Henning.
Yeah, if we see Henning on here, we'll purposely ignore him. But Carl, g'day. Andrew Smith, hello, how are you? Tim Harrop, Kittle, the Schmiddle, Diddle, he's on. Aaron, Steve, we've got a good group of our riggers. And Julie, hello, Julie. We're always happy to see Julie come on and say hello to us as well. So, busy week for Corin with stuff and things and business and power outs. Mert, what happened to you? I saw something come up on your Instagram story yesterday, and I think I got the answer wrong because you gave us 2 options. Was it flooding?
Yesterday,
Was it flooding of your workshop, or was it Mert's tears? And I said it was Mert's tears.
No, it was either my sweat from forging or was it actual flooding. So just to put it in perspective, last year this time is 42 degrees, 43 degrees. We got the fire raiding gone crazy. We got the suitcases packed, waiting just in case some shit happens. We can leave the house. This year, I'm grateful. We don't have a fire threat. But it's been in 20s and it poured down for the 4 or 5 days. It's great. I appreciate it. Good. But it flooded my shed. So it's okay. Look, when I set my shed up, I made sure everything is off the floor. And nothing got affected, but it's just super humid in my shed. Like, there are some knives. I hand sanded. And I wrapped them up, and you think they'll be fine because they got oil in them, all that. But because it's so humid, you turn around, you look up, and you got a knife that you already cut the shoulders and everything. All you have to do is just slide in the guard and glue. That's all left. You think, no, it's not. Now you got to go back. And in some cases, rust is all like, I have to go back to 400 grit or something. That's the shitty part. But good part, a friend of mine, Cole, he came into the hammer and he got tired of my shed because, as you guys, any of you who've been into my shed, who've seen my workshop, I had the dodgy tables that I made, but I'm using the word made very loosely. Few 2x4s and some plywoods and shit. They're my bench grinders. They're my tables for my grinders. So he got tired of my shitty grinder setup, and then he brought these massive, like 50, they're like 15, 20 centimeter wide pipes. They're like 1 centimeter thick steel. He measured my tables. He came and he welded 2 bases for my grinders, and he put the grinders on them and he bolted them on the floor. So I got shitload of space in my grinding room. I cleaned my grinding room. I think I gotten 40 to 50 kilos worth of dust. Jamie, don't fucking say anything, okay? I know you're about to make some comment. Don't fucking say anything. I was sore for 2 days because I lifted everything off my grinding room and all the tables and everything. And the table that you see behind me has my drills and shit. I lifted everything, and at the end, I calculated I moved over a ton of weight in a day, and obviously I was sore as fuck next day. So that's what I've done last weekend. What have you guys been up to? Have you made any knives recently, Kev?
Yes, I've finished classes a couple of weeks ago now, effectively. I had a little hammer in last week, which was cool. I have to thank Timmy and Corin because they sent down some steel and some T-shirts and stuff for us. And I had a hat similar to Corin's, but I think I've left it in the workshop. And we made some sand mai, or 5-layer, I still call it sand mai, 5-layered sand mai billets, just for a bit of fun with the fellas and all that sort of whatnot. I know it's go mai. Go suck mai.
Go mai. Let's go.
5-layer sand mai. Nima, itchy, Nima, blah, 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 blah. Fuck, I can count the fucking 6 in fucking Japanese.
Some my long
if I use 2 hands.
No, you fucking can't. I've travelled all through Japan. I know you can't do nothing.
Anyway, fuck you. Fuck you, man.
Okonomiyaki. Fuji-san.
Fuck you, man.
Corin, what are you drinking, mate? What
do you have? And then, shut up, I'm still talking. And then this week.
I thought you were done.
Nah, because you asked about making knives. And then this week, I got a bit silly and made 15 W2 chef knives. So far, I've started forging them. And I've got, I think, so far heat treated 8 of them, and I've now just starting to, I've done the disc sanding. Now I'm back onto the hand sanding with some stones and some of Ross Arnold's hand sanding tools. Fuck, they're good fun to make, but when you get to hand sanding and you're like, shit, it's not a 3-inch hunter.
People don't realize when you make a chef knife, there's so much fucking area to be sanded.
Oh yeah.
Compared to any small, insignificant like barrel knife, there's so much area to be sanded.
Perfect.
And they're all like 50 wide, at least 8.5 inches long. And I've just gone back to because they've got hamons. When you use the disc and you use the rubber backing on the rubber backing on the disc, because your hamons are soft as steel, you create very, very subtle low points. So I've actually gone back to Ross Arnold's 320 grit. 240 grit. I think I've gone back to his 240 grit diamond thing to get them flat. And then I'm going to start hand sanding. But that's what I've been up to. I've got 15 on the go. Just a bit of, while I'm technically on leave, I thought I'd make 15 chef knives to chuck in the arsenal for next year. But it's good fun. I'm enjoying it.
Customs, or are you just making them?
Just making them to boost my inventory.
Kev, are these custom? All right. What about you, Corin? Did you
I haven't done shit. No. No.
Beautiful.
No, I haven't done any. I got back from the South Coast and spent some time with the family. I worked most of the weekend on that job, just doing some prep work, and so I haven't done any. I've been just working.
Corin, for the people, for the us knife makers who want to wait till last second to place our orders for Christmas, when is the cutoff?
It had to have
About
been.
a week ago.
Yeah.
They're working between Christmas and New Year, but I don't know if they're shipping. So
It's funny because
Right.
you were talking last week about that Cyber Monday sale or whatever, that stupid shit that we've taken on board here that happened overseas. I put an order in then just for some stuff that was up for sale, and I got my notification that it got posted today. So that you were saying last week about 200 orders came in on top of all the other orders. I'm stoked. I actually didn't see it. I didn't expect that to get packed and shipped until at least in the new year, to be honest with you. But that was good.
We're not that far behind now. We're catching up.
Yeah.
So but for how long, I don't know. I've got more people than I've ever had. I've got 4 people packed all the time.
And I think we talked about it last week, but what are you guys shutting down for Christmas?
For a break.
No, mate. Oh, fuck. Thanks, Captain Obvious. What time period are you guys closed for over the Christmas period, you fucker?
We'll be open, but I'm not sure how many people will be there between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we'll be open.
Yeah, nice, very good.
So I had a Aussie Christmas classic happening to me this week. Can you imagine a beautiful Christmas time in Australia without Australia Post losing your shipment? No, you can't. The beautiful Nakiri I sent to a guy in Sydney that showed it was delivered. The guy never received his knife.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Ho, ho, ho. Yeah.
Shit. I've posted up a few.
I don't want to do post. People say to us all the time, "Oh, why don't you go post? It's cheaper." Because fucking I have to replace the goods every fucking time.
Yeah. No, your system with Star Trek and TNT, it works. Don't fuck it around. That fucking works.
At least I've got some recourse, and they're pretty good. They're better than post anyway. I mean, they're not perfect, and every area's got a shit driver, but whatever.
Yeah, look, I might use my driver for international.
My driver's good. I like the delivery driver for my area for Star Trek and TNT. He's slowly but surely getting used to dropping shit off at my fucking house for me.
Good.
Yeah. He's got a ring. I just said to him, if the car's out the front, ring the doorbell and go, because it takes me a minute to get down from the workshop. So he's happy with that. And then I just waved to him at the truck. See you, mate. But no, it's all good. It's all good. So, plenty of things happening. I like doing the disc sanding today. Oh, here's something for you. I got a surprise package from you guys through Cole, and it was the bloody sandpaper. What's the different sandpaper that you guys? It's got a funny name.
Look, Exhibit A here. 1 second. Motherfucker.
Oh, good on you, Mert.
Ta-da!
It's got a thick yellow backing. Which one is it?
Yeah.
What's it called? No. I have no idea. I've been out of the office for weeks.
Made in Switzerland. Hi, Matt. These are the Chinese cheap stuff that I told you. No, sorry. Just kidding.
I was actually doing a reasonably good test with that stuff today because I've got all those chef knives on the go, and they're all roughly the same size. They're all roughly the same condition off the 100 grit, and I think the Rhino wet in 180 grit is still a hands down winner. It just seemed to just shred through. So I was trying the testing methodology that I used was for one sheet, see how much I can clean up the blade till there's 0 100 grit scratches on there, and I was going both sides on them. And the Rhino wet in 180 grit seemed to last, in my view anyway, that little bit better. And then when I got straight onto the 320s, it was really, really kind of hard to tell. But I think when I get to hand sanding that new paper, it's got a much thicker backing on it. Like it feels actually really heavy per sheet. So I think when I actually get to the hand sanding of it, it could be a bit of a game changer because it'll have that little tiny extra buffer on it.
Yeah, I reckon it'll probably just add another product that I have to carry to keep more people happy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using. I remember. I can't remember the name of the paper now, but I think it was printed on the back, maybe. But it was some funny name. But I remember some guy asking on one of the groups about sandpaper, and I just said, Rhino Wet's the best I've had. I remember this other guy pointing out this paper. So it's actually quite interesting to see. Like I said, I've only used it on the disc. I haven't used it in hand sanding as such. But yeah, look, I think it's it kind of 6 of one, half a dozen the other, slightly leaning still towards Rhino Wet as paper of choice, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, we're just trying different things as we do.
Yeah, no, it's worthwhile.
Mm.
I tried some Norton stuff a while back, and Rhino Wet shuttle over that.
I see it happen
guys,
all the time.
the one with the paper, the one with the glue at the back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Rhino stick.
The one with
Rhino
the glue
stick.
at the back, like those rolls. The Rhino stick, I use them for my hand sanding. And I don't know if the backing is different, but I like them a lot for the hand sanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
normally use.
I've been using the sheets on the disc, like you say, and those rolls for my hand sanding stick.
I find the 320 and that's really good because you can peel off the sticky, do a quick rip off the crack, and then turn it over and buff off. We're talking about crack back and sack waxes, aren't we?
What are you talking about?
The sticky back sandpaper. I use it for the old hair removal.
I get it. Yeah.
Man, I gotta explain that.
Yeah.
No, not the legs. As I said, 320 is good for the crack.
Well, we see it all the time where people get onto groups and they've just started in knife making. They're like, "Oh, we're going to try all these different sandpapers," and it's like, I've been trying all the different sandpapers for 7 years in this business, and I tell you, there's nothing like Rhino Wet. Not quite. You know what I mean? Nothing gets it.
The other stuff was close, but it still wasn't quite there. And I use shit tins of this stuff. At any one time in my workshop, I have bundles of paper because I use so much of the shit. I used about 25 sheets of the stuff today just on the knives. So, so Eric, I'm getting scientific because my former life I used to do systems testing and business analyst and all that sort of stuff. So your testing process has to be repeatable, mate. You need to get clear, defined parameters. So yes, very scientific.
Brad Stone's asking about, can you use a diamond stone instead of sandpaper or go through the grits on paper first before the stones? There's two types of there's lots of different types of stones, but the ones that are most common are the aluminium oxide die maker's stones, which is what I've used for years. And the other style is what old mate in South Australia, whose name
Ross Arnold
makes, and they're the CBM. They're a CBM plate on a nice heavy handle, and they're a very good product. They're a very good product. You can use those instead of sandpaper, but at some point to finish, you still need to go to sandpaper. What they're particularly good for is, in the case of Ross's stuff, is to get flat stuff, really flat.
Yeah.
And in the case of the what's really, really good about the die maker stones is you can put different radiuses on them and get into the plunge lines and things like that really well, much better than I've ever been able to do with sandpaper. So,
and that's exactly why I've got. That's exactly why I've got the two sets.
Yeah.
Ross's is to get the flats out, and the die maker stones to get the shit out of the plunge lines if it needs it. Because you definitely, I shouldn't say you definitely can't sand plunge lines with Ross's diamond things, but don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So with the die maker stones, you can get them as rounds as well, but you can radius them, you can dress them on the grinder. They're aluminium oxide. They sand really nicely. They work really well, and I like those for my stuff because when you're working a blade that long, I don't need a fucking CBM flat thing. I'm not doing a huge flat kitchen knife. I'm just doing something like that. So for me, that's all I really need. But yeah, there's all options there.
Plus, with those stones, I mean, if you're only using on the plunge lines, I'm sure you can get a good life out of it. You're not gonna
Oh
sand
yeah.
the whole
Oh, yeah,
thing
they're
with them.
unreal.
You just don't, yeah.
I've been using the same set I bought 10 years ago. I only got another set because I started selling them, and I thought, oh well, I'll take a set.
Do you have plunge lines on barrel knives?
Yeah, I do.
This much. This much.
That's it.
This much.
How much?
I'll show you. I've got a picture in a magazine here. I'll show you where they are.
He uses the same set of stones to do his barrel knives as they used in the Neolithic period.
Yeah, probably. No, they're a good set of stones. I've been using them before I was doing barrel knives on my bushcrafters and stuff,
Yeah.
and I do like them. It's a good option.
I bought the stones off
good
you and
option.
chucked them in a drawer. I bought the stones off you, chucked them in a drawer, and didn't even go back to them until we had something on one of the episodes about the stones. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get them out. And they really do a great job of the plunge lines. I just need to say to Anthony, what?
Huh? What, Anthony?
I just need
What?
to say to Anthony, what? He's asked up the quest. Is it 3M say what, Kev? What?
Oh, right. Say what? Say what? Say what?
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what anyway, it doesn't matter. Corin can do anything with a file.
He can build a fucking pyramid, Les. He can build a fucking pyramid. Don't you forget it.
Yeah, that's right. And but if you want to see somebody who can do anything with a file, watch Ali Bastion.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He's like the king of filing.
Yeah, watch Ali Bastion. And did you know ClickSpring's back on YouTube? We're going to lose a heap of viewers now. They're all going to flick over there. ClickSpring's uploading videos again on YouTube after 3 years off. You don't know him? That guy can do anything with a file too. ClickSpring, look it up. Best YouTuber on YouTube. Bar none, bar zero.
If you want to see somebody with the file, Alabastion. If you want somebody great at the grinder, Corner Quart.
I would have said Chad Smith. He's the one on grinder.
Yeah. Or Matthew Newburn.
Ooh.
or Matthew McVicker.
Matthew McVicker. Anyway, never mind.
Well,
yeah,
guys.
So yeah.
Time to have a fucking toast. I think it's about the fucking time.
I'm going to get sick.
Cheers.
But I'm going to drink another bit. Just
cheers.
wait.
Cheers all to the people who are watching us.
I've got
2020, almost fucking over.
Holy shit. Beer everywhere. Beer o'clock. Beer emergency.
Can't hold his liquor.
It got all excited. Like,
yeah, it's a boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a boy.
Cheers, Kents. So, yes, 2020. Apart from all the shit part of 2020, we fucking 2020 was actually all right for us, except for the fact that for a period there we all became quite bad alcoholics. Very unproductive Friday mornings.
The original podcast before we went to live recording, the last 3 podcasts before we went to live recording, they were fucking messy. They were the messy. Yeah. They were the ones where I was getting phone calls. Did we say that? Did we really say that?
That's right. I didn't want to listen to them. It was the year. It was the year to become to go first name basis with the local grog shop that I've been going to for 20 years since I moved into this suburb. I've become first name basis with the guy down there now. It's like, fuck, took me 19 years. I finally fucking made it. I'm a regular.
Kev, you're really in trouble. If they offer you, do you guys want to open an account for your restaurant?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
What do you mean? You go restaurant and they go, yeah, but you like buy 4 cases of wine and 18 bottles of spirits a fucking week. Work at home.
Brad Stone is asking, what's your drop? Look, I'm not a whiskey drinker, but thanks to the guy on the left of my screen and also the guy in the middle, I start drinking whiskey and I'm having this tonight.
Oh, good. That's a nice drop.
That's all right.
I was looking for a Glenmorangie, but I couldn't find it.
Glenmorangie's nice.
Glenmorangie's
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah. So I was just drinking one of the smoked porters, which is all right. Now I'm going to back that up with some
so
red
unprofessional,
wine.
you motherfucker.
It was like a full stop. Is an exclamation mark to say how good that was. No, good stuff. So yeah, we've had some fun on here. I have to say, in the last 12 months, it's when for everyone that's sort of still with us, watching, listening, all the rest of it. When we switched to doing podcasts, which is the live version of our podcast, it was kind of a thing to break up a bit of the monotony of all the shit that was going on. But I have to say, I've really fucking enjoyed it. I think it's great fun to be on live and talk to you blokes. Talk to Mert a minute later than we talk to him, and get all the comments from everyone. But we've also had...
We've cleaned up the conversation because I'm not like, I don't have to edit your shit out anymore. Like the stuff these guys say, holy fuck. So
did he say that?
Yeah.
This guy, cabbage.
Who say what?
Oh yeah.
Say what? Say what? Isn't that yellow paper? Say what? You say what? Yellow backing you, clown.
Brad Stone says, I'm drinking a hipster beer. I probably am. I don't drink beer. It makes me sick. I've got
he should be drinking cider or nothing.
It's beer someone left here. So I'll just make that very clear. I'm just drinking it because I am an alcoholic, and that's just, I've got nothing else. So it's going to be this, and I'll live with it.
So
not.
Stone and Wood Pale Ale. That's what my mate brought around this afternoon.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know what you're drinking.
No,
Carl Truscott. He's on the Stone and Wood Pale Ale. My mate brought that round.
I got to put it in the my Funkle stubby holder. There we go.
Right.
Yeah. Mine. If I went to get one of those stubby holders like yours that says Funkle, I would no doubt pick out the one that says Fuck Knuckle instead of Funkle. That's all it would say.
Brett was on another podcast.
Okay. Time to defend myself.
Now, apparently, very quietly, Mert was very, very quiet about his appearance on another podcast.
Ooh.
And I had a number of listeners to this podcast contact me and say, wow, we were just listening to Mert on that other podcast, and he sounded very professional, and he didn't yawn. His dog didn't bark. His kids didn't come screaming in.
He didn't take his dick out and
clock
said...
That was the heart of the Tickle. What are you doing?
Mert was dancing in front of his computer going for like 5 minutes doing the helicopter. He's like, oh, that's right. It's not a live feed.
Okay.
So what
let me defend myself.
Oh, come on. So, defend.
Jeff Fader of Fader Knives asked me if I can be on his podcast at Full Blast Podcast, on his personal podcast, the Full Blast Podcast. And I like Jeff Fader. I like that guy, and I also enjoy his podcast too. And I said yes, but I don't know if you guys noticed, I suck at calculating the time difference.
You suck at cock what?
You suck cock what?
No, I suck at calculating the time difference.
Oh.
If you guys remember.
Oh, calculating. I was like, what level is that?
So
anyway, time differences.
Jeff said, are you available this time? I'm like, yeah, sure, available. And I'm thinking, it's okay. It's morning. I'll get the kids to school and I'll come back and I'll do the podcast. And I'm on and first thing, I had to go on my computer to be able to do this podcast. And my wife is working from home. She's using the computer. I'm like, that's not going to work. And luckily that week, she was going to office. I'm like, that's perfect. I'll drop the kids off to school. I'll come back and I'll do the podcast. My daughter is going to be at home because her school finished. But then she'll just watch TV and I can swear and I can just be myself. And that day, my wife didn't have to go to work. So she's on the computer. To make the things worse, I miscalculate the fucking time difference. And all of a sudden, the podcast that I was supposed to be there at 8:45, it started at 10:30. I'm messaging Jeff frantically like I was messaging Bob Kramer. Like, hey, man, are we doing the podcast? He's like, hey. And Jeff is like, my man, it's 4:30. I thought we were in 6:30. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I'm here if you... So my wife is home. My kids are home. Dogs are at the background. It was such a clean podcast from me. And another thing that I didn't notice was because I was thinking I'm going to be done by 10:30, 11 latest, I forgot that I booked my son for some swimming lesson. And my wife is at the back like, you got to take him to swimming. She's texting me. I'm talking to Jeff. And I end up saying, look, Jeff, I'm sorry, man. I have to bail out. And it was great, but I only get to talk 1 hour.
You know what he really said, though? You know what he really said? He said, I'm sorry, Jeff. I've got to drop the kids off to the pool.
that came out wrong, didn't it? I had to take my son to a swimming lesson. How about that?
You know what time it is? You know what time it is?
It's not, is it?
Knifemaker.
With a lot to learn. It's Timmy. He's a handful of trouble at every
Timmy, what's going on?
Timmy leaves the
Gamaco Artisan Supplies.
and goes up into the trying to be cool, he's number one. He joins all his friends
Knifemaking Down Under podcast.
and he's always having such a lot of fun. Timmy, it's Timmy.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Timmy!
Oh. What's on your face? You got a facial from Santa?
What?
Thank
Oh!
He's done an elf on himself. Oh, good to see you, Timmy. How you been? Oh, he's going for a skull on the milk. Look at him go.
We're
We
good.
thought you might have
We
been
are
out of
good.
practice for your little milky Tim.
Oh. Whew.
Hey, Tim, I got you a little Christmas present. I've wrapped it up in some purple paper. Let me unwrap it for you.
No way. Oh, I've got one for you too, Kev. Ah,
We got the same thing.
we got the same thing.
Secret Santa.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. How you going, Timmy?
I'm going good. Well, I
What's
actually
been keeping
finished
you
some
busy?
knives recently.
You what?
Christmas game on your face. Corin, bring that comment back.
Oh, Owen Ward. Hey, speaking of Owen Ward, after we're done with Timmy time, let's talk about Owen time because I've got a
Oh.
story to tell. So, did you just say you finished some knives, Tim?
Yeah, I actually finished some knives. That's a rare occurrence.
It
Yeah.
is a rare occurrence. What did you finish? Tell us about them.
So I went on live radio a couple months ago. I just texted in and they give me a call, and the guys were like, "Can you make us a knife?" And I was like, "Sure." So I made them some knives, and that's it.
Have you
What for?
shipped them?
No, I'm just gonna ship them tomorrow, but it's exciting times.
We'll put them in a taxi truck so they get there quicker.
We'll
So,
Uber
what
them.
was the thing on radio that you were listening to that prompted you to text in and receive a phone call from them?
They
Alan Jones.
They had this thing on every Friday where they sounded a horn to end the work week. And I
So
just
you're
said
feeling
sound
horny.
horn. Yeah, something like that. And they were like, "Oh, this guy's all right." And I said I make knives on radio, and they were like, "Well, that's a bit strange."
Yeah, I make knives in my workshop, not on radio.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Good to help you, Les. Look at that ruler. That sponsorship.
Yeah, we actually need to give you a genuine Merry Christmas, thank you, Timmy shout out. I think from most of the listeners on here, I'm sure we got one or two that are grudgy holding fucks, but most of our audience would be very appreciative of your service over the last 12 months, getting the shit out for us so we can get shit done without being on the radio like a radio star like you. Timmy killed the radio star. There you go. Could make a song out of
that. Yeah, that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's the next intro.
Yeah, nice. Very good.
So yeah, we got some new promotional stuff at Gamma K, Timmy.
We do. We have
because I stole heaps of them. I got hats. I got fucking coolers.
Actually, there's one begrudging bastard customer of yours, Tim.
Oh dear.
Me.
Okay. Yeah.
You didn't send me those bloody stickers again.
Oh shit.
Now you need to send me stickers and some rulers or rules.
Send me the negative comments, as many as you like, Kev, because I have to counterbalance all his always positive performance reviews.
Oh,
with
man,
some. So just make sure you give me heaps of negatives, so I've got something to counterbalance.
Yeah.
I don't want to get the big head.
The performance review is going to have a little bit of work needed in these areas.
Sticker sending.
Sticker sending. Reaper stickers,
I got a song for next Timmy intro. Hey guys. I got the next Timmy video song intro idea. Yeah, do one. He should be called. Yeah, it's coming. Radio Timmy from Queen. Radio Timmy. We gotta change Radio Gaga to Radio Timmy.
I like it.
That one.
You get on that one, Corin.
I think Timmy killed the radio star is better.
Timmy killed the radio star. Well, it's all good. People want a Gamma K show bag. That would be sweet. We should do a Gamma K show bag at the shows, Timmy. What we'll fucking do. That's what we'll do. And they'll get a ruler and a hat and one of those aprons. We've got an apron. Did you tell them about the aprons, Timmy? Did you tell them about the aprons?
Yeah. Whoa. Isn't that a Gamma K show bag with a ruler, some stickers, an apron, a hat, and some popping candy and a Freddo frog and something else like at the Easter show?
Yeah, and a little plastic gun. We'll get a little plastic gun.
Plastic gun.
Yeah, plastic gun. Because we're knife making. Get it?
Yeah, and it's in, everyone can walk around going, I brought a gun to a knife fight.
That's pretty funny.
And Owen wants to serious it up by putting in some rhino wet. Yeah, good one, Owen. Good one. Seriously though,
bloody hell, Owen.
The apron. Someone says my mum has been rocking the apron. My wife stole the apron. I brought it home and she's like, "Oh, that's nice. I'll have that." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want it, but anyway, still good." She's happy. She's happy.
Red frogs.
Happy wife. Happy life.
Birdie Beetle. That's the one I was thinking of. Not Freddo Frog. We like Birdie Beetle. He's the cheap version. Like shit chocolate tasting good.
We do them on the gas side of the business. So the calendars are all gas related.
No.
So
that'd be good because you know the appropriate thing about that.
I'm backing out. I don't even know what we do anymore. Fucking I haven't got a clue.
The nice thing about having a Gamma K calendar that's to do with the gas business is I always put my free calendars on the back of the toilet door. So I could look at your gas business while I'm doing my gas business.
Nice.
Wow, I could be Partisan Supplies and you could be Artisan Supplies. Actually, Partisan Surprise.
Oh, no.
Actually,
you're the new head of marketing.
It's Christmas. Christmas.
The older you get, the more the farts do become surprises.
They really can't, though.
Well, I got an idea for your fart. I have an idea for your parties and supplies thing. Knife making is like fart. If you're pushing it, it's probably shit.
Yeah, that's it. Go too hard and it turns out shit. That's it.
Got one with my hand wrapped fire bricks. Do we hand wrap fire bricks? That's a joke I'm getting on.
Each one's bubble wrapped.
Are they really?
Bubble wrap.
Yes.
Fuck me, we waste some money in this place. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah,
What do we
efficiency.
have?
Sorry, we've got to sack 3 of our packers because we wrap everything in fucking bubble wrap.
Douglas wants you to get off the show, Kev.
Come on, Doug. Jeez, mate, that's a bit harsh. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, I'm a shocker. I love it. I do love it. Oh dear. Hey,
So what else is new?
speaking of shockers, while we've got Timmy on here, can I tell a little story about one of our listeners and an incident that occurred? A certain Owen Ward. I think Owen at the moment Owen's probably just turned his computer off. Oh, bad internet connection. Got to stop. So here he is there. You know all these giveaways all these companies are doing.
Just a second. This is a sales inquiry. He's given us a sales inquiry. Can you buy caravan-specific gas fittings from you guys direct? Yes, that is actually our bread and butter. That's no problem at all there.
That's part of the fucking business. Fuck off to the toilet if you're going to ask those questions.
You'll talk to a different team. If you're in Melbourne, just call my Melbourne branch. They've got everything there. Anyway, there you go. Go for it.
If you can ask that. Come on, piss off. I'm telling a story about Owen Ward and a classic thing that occurred. You know these when you go onto Instagram and you follow these companies and they do the giveaways leading up to Christmas and it's all exciting and they've got really simple rules like this post and tag 2 friends and you're in with a chance to win. And I do that all the time. It annoys the shit out of me when I get tagged, so I annoy the shit out of people when I tag them. And I normally tag the same 2 people, Brad Heathcote and Pointy HK. And this one time I get onto this giveaway and I'll go, I'll fucking tag Owen Ward. So I tag, I think, Brad Heathcote and Owen Ward. And then Owen sends me a message through Messenger going something along the lines of, do you want to hear something funny that you'll probably get angry about? And I'm like, yeah, I'll write back, yeah, sure, what's up? And he sends me this thing saying, and it's a screen dump saying he was selected as the winner of that particular company's giveaway. And I'm like, no, that's good, man, because I prefer if someone wins it that I know. That's really awesome. No begrudging. That's really cool. We're really happy about it. And anyway, the next day, Owen sends me this screen dump of the conversation going about how that particular company is trying to get him to sign up. Click on this link and register to get your prize. And Owen's there going, but that's signing up to a VPN that's going to cost me money. I'm not doing that shit. And then I picked up a little bit on the language, which was like, yes, sir. Everything was sir. Sir, do this for us. Rah, rah. Previous winners, sir, did this. And so I started getting this thing. And then we both realized the company that we went onto was Blackwoods. And then we realized that it's Blackwoods 1, a spamming account that's tried to spam Owen to get him to sign up to a VPN. And he hasn't done it. So now, of course, each day leading up to Christmas, I happily tag Owen on Blackwood's official site for their giveaways because I think that was kind of funny. He nearly had a Leatherman. Nearly.
I like Leatherman.
And the funny thing is, I said to him, well, that's okay that you've won the Leatherman because I've recently discovered my red CS3 Leatherman with the corkscrew on it. And it's in like brand new condition. So I've effectively got my own new Leatherman anyway. And then it finds out he doesn't have a Leatherman. He doesn't have fucking anything. Ha 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 ha.
Sucks for you, on.
Sucks to be you. But I'll keep tagging you just in case.
So did I ever tell you boys the story of my Leatherman?
Oh, no.
Right, I guess that's time for me to leave.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys.
Timmy has gone.
Just failed.
He's a little
Knife maker.
with a lot to learn. It's Timmy. He's a handful of trouble at every
Timmy,
turn.
what's going on?
Timmy leaves the
Gamaco Artisan Supplies.
and goes out into the trying to be cool. He's number one. He joins all his friends
Knife Making Down Under podcast.
and he's always having such a lot of fun. Timmy, it's Timmy.
What the fuck happened there? He just left. He just went,
Has he heard your Leatherman story a few times already?
I don't know. I must have offended him.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, because you said, has everyone heard my Leatherman story? And he went, oh, it's time for me to go. And just
Just went. Just went.
fuck him. That goes on his performance review too.
Maybe he had a booty call.
Improvement required in listening and attention span.
Don't forget about the hats, everyone. We've got limited stock because Corin cut my marketing budget, says a Facebook user. Fuck you, Timmy. Fuck you. I got the hat. I asked you to get hats so I could get a hat. I've got a hat. It's all good now.
I've got a hat.
Don't need it. Timmy.
I know someone who
abandoned
can
it.
use a hat.
So
I
anyway,
know someone who
yeah.
can use a hat.
we'll get
Hey,
to it.
Mert,
Anyway,
I'll send you one. I've got a
So-
spare one.
Thanks, man. Thanks,
we're
man.
driving down the
Really nice.
M4. You know the M4 at Silverwater there before they built the overpass where it went through the tolls and then went to 2 lanes with a concrete barrier, or 3 lanes with a concrete barrier on each side, right?
Mhm.
We're driving down there one day and my old man said, there's a Leatherman up against the barrier. And I went, fuck off, there he is. He said, there is, watch tomorrow. Went past it the next day. There's a Leatherman up against the barrier. And I've gone, fuck. Man, I drove past that Leatherman for about 3 months until one day there's heaps of traffic. Stopped. And my old man has a veto and he said, lie on the back floor of the van. I'll open the door, you pick it up. How hard can it be and stop traffic? I've gone, fuck yeah, let's do it. Fuck yeah. So we did it. So we stopped and picked it up and then I got it and it was a Leatherman core with the plastic inserts in it. It had been run over and it was all broken. So I sent it back and got it replaced under warranty and they replaced it with a Super Tool 300. Or what's this one? A fucking, yeah,
Scam and fuck.
fuck yeah.
That's cool. Good story.
It was. Oh, well, we had a good time. Except that Cole doesn't like Leathermans except when they break. But they've got the fucking 25-year warranty.
25 years. Shit.
Shit, my
Oh,
boy.
look at this sadness. This one's full of rust again. I
You
got to
need-
clean it up.
You need this stuff here that I just found. I was thinking of Mert. Rust
What?
clean. Rust
Yeah.
clean.
Does it work
It's
any
in
good?
Japanese, so it must be good.
Must be. Oh,
Rust
Jesus.
clean.
I really do need it. It's all chowdery.
Just send it back and they'll send you a new one. Tell them it's
They
rusty.
do it. Yeah, they do. I don't want to, but, you know, that's what I have to do. That's what I have to do.
Like I say, what you want and what you have to do doesn't matter.
Cole says it's too bad his is over 25 years old. I love the Leathermans. I reckon they're a great bloody
What did
tool.
you get that for? Like 5 years before you were born, Cole?
Cole's like old.
Is he
No.
is he older than 30?
Yes. He's like 52 or something.
52. He holds it well. Must be his height.
Yeah, he just all went into growth, see? It's like you'll be when you're that old, you'll be that tall too.
I'm getting close
Like
to that.
tree.
I'll tell you. It's not good. So, 2020, we've waffled on about a whole
Let's
heap of
talk
shit. We
about
got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Who
good
was
going.
your favorite guest that we've had through 2020? Can you remember like 3 guests and choose your favorite out of those 3?
Go ahead.
I
Craig.
love talking about Chris Knives. The Chris Knife. When Bob Kramer was talking
Bob
about
Kramer.
Chris Knives. That was pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon the best interview we've ever done, the funniest one was that fucking sword maker, the big giant sword fella with his bloody nutcracker.
Michael Cthulhu.
That was early on in the piece.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was very early on in the piece.
I still listen to that fucking nutcracker story and I still piss myself. It's hilarious.
Well, we
With
had an
Tim
impromptu. I was thinking that Mert might have. Well, I suppose it's over and done with now, so he doesn't have to. But we did have Jeff Fader on as an impromptu guest one time. Now Mert's been on his podcast. He doesn't have to say another nice word about him.
Yeah, you can tell us what you really think now, Mert.
Ian Stewart was
No,
good. Matty Spewbum was good. Matty's always an interesting fella to talk to.
Steve Schwartzer.
Oh, Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve
yeah.
was good value. I really enjoyed Uncle Steve. Yeah,
I did that one at your place, Jeff.
that's right. Yes, that's right. We're up in the workshop doing that.
So Brad Stone wants to know, what do you guys know about knife shows and events next year?
Neck year.
Next year.
We don't
No,
know
I
a lot
was-
about knife shows and events next year. Next year. Brad.
Oh.
We're all being a bit cautiously optimistic as to whether they'll go ahead. You've got to remember, we've just got 17 new cases in Sydney because of some little outbreak that's happening here. Anything can happen any day. So the organisations involved are very cautious about how they're investing their money, because there's no point putting deposits on venues and things if we lose them again. Just no good.
That's it. We're talking when we put that money on the table, it's tens of thousands of dollars. And
Yeah,
like I said, for that, when we commit to that advertising, everything else, we don't get that money back if it doesn't go through.
We lost 25
The
grand.
biggest issue is like when they're limiting the numbers in the closed areas, and knife making or any kind of fairs or any kind of trade shows, they have to have as many people as you can have. So you got two options.
Yes.
Either way, you're gonna jack the price up for a ticket, then nobody comes, or you do an outside venue and there's a wind and shit blows on your table, and what do you do? So
Or it
it's
pisses down rain. We've had that at Canberra a few years where it's just
oh
Yeah.
yeah, like I had
Freak
5
storms
cardboard
come
knives on
through.
the table, pissing down rain. I'm like, great.
Bert was lying on top of those fucking carbon blades like a fucking. He was on there, getting his
Well,
groove
Brad
on
Stone-
those carbon blades.
oh yeah. Owen Ward says Sean McIntyre episode. Well, that was a fucking good episode, so I'll play that one.
Well, was he really a guest or was he just a guest speaker?
Oh, look, I'm going to own it. All right. I know he wasn't, but I'm going to use some creative license. He'll slap me around later. Yeah, he was a guest speaker, and that was a great episode.
Yeah, and I'm only saying
Yeah,
that
and we-
because if
Oh,
Sean
let's be
ever
fair,
does
we
listen to
intro-
here, if
we
Sean ever does
introduced him.
listen, we
We
want
did it.
Sean to be a guest.
Oh, that's true.
Yes,
But we did introduce him, didn't we? Like we did that. That was us. We did.
Did he talk to us? Did he interact with us at all?
Oh, don't start that. Don't start that. It just makes me sad.
Mert, I don't even think Corin had us active in the conversation. I think we were on the
He
screen.
fucking
but
locked us
muted.
up. Like, yeah, we're like muted at the back. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
like that.
Well, we get Sean anyway. Everyone said so.
And
Mark Barrett.
his episode was pretty fucking good. We have to admit.
It was great. It was
Kurt
great.
and I show, the best show of 2020. Fuck yeah, it was great. We should have enjoyed it more. We should have enjoyed it more while we can. That was a great outstanding episode. Great show.
If we knew we were going to be in lockdown just a few months later, I would have drunk more.
If we knew we were going to be in
thought you
lockdown
already
a few months
give
later,
up.
I think every knife maker in Australia would have been over at that bloody show, regardless of what was going on.
Except the tool who booked the class for the fucking show.
Oh, shut up!
I've got,
I would have
I've got some
cancelled
great
then.
video. I've got some great video of that of you at that show, Mert. I've got
Oh.
some really good video.
That's where he was kissing his friend's belly button.
I don't know. Yeah, well, He was. We were at a bar somewhere. Oh, I must have deleted it.
He's worried.
He should be.
I wasn't. If anybody needs to be worried, I'll be.
So, Mert,
Yeah,
when you were on Jeff Vader's
Damn it.
Full Blow Your podcast, did you talk about the time that we shared a room together up in Queensland?
No, we
And I
didn't.
sung you a lullaby and tucked you into bed and made sure you were comfy and got to sleep really well.
Jeff gave us a shout out for our episode, for our podcast, and we talked about podcast and how much he enjoys our podcast. We talked about it. So thanks.
Good. I sent him a little
giving us
surprise.
shout out.
I sent him a little surprise today by
What you
Instagram.
sent?
He'll be happy. I sent him a
Yeah,
picture of my
no.
black
The
socks.
look of concern on Mert's face. Look, Dion,
No,
if you were talking
I said
about
that-
the Queensland show, I might, but I got nothing on Perth.
It was just a
I think
video
that
of you saying,
I think that was the best
Oh,
worst
yes.
live. I think that was the best worst live feed that we've ever done. That actually sparked off, though. I reckon in all honesty, that sparked off the interest in doing this podcast.
where it was
Yeah,
born.
Yeah.
it did. You're
We had a
mentally
great-
disturbed, mentally scarred for life, but
And conceived this podcast.
did he? Oh, apparently he asked how our bromance started. Did he?
Cool.
Owen Ward's just said that down the bottom. Jeff
I
asked
like
you
it.
how our bromance started.
Well, we've been having tables side by side for last 4 years, and I think us having tables side by side sometimes turns into an episode of Dumb and Dumber, and we're having so much fun. And even some cases, like we have to point to each other saying, "Hey, Kev, you got a table? You got someone on your table," or vice versa. Kev says, "Hey, mate, somebody's trying to buy a knife," and we're just goofing around and we're just being silly. And ever since ever since we're having tables side by side.
There was
we did an
one
event.
show. There was one show I recall that you and I were laughing so much on the second day that all the other knife makers were not very happy, and they were pointing in our general direction and scowling at us. And it was like,
Hashtag haters.
Jamie Bishop, Queensland Knife Show.
Oh.
Oh, that was a funny one.
If you
that
know,
was,
you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. That's you just got to go with that one. Yeah. No, it's funny because I may or may not have ensured that you and I sat together at every knife show for like the last 3 years by quietly, paying someone off to make it happen. It's like, where's Mert? I want the table next to Mert. Oh, it's already there. It's already there. You're already signed up.
So, Kev, what was your highlight? What were the highlights for you in 2020? Let's not talk about COVID. Let's not talk about how fucked up 2020 is, but let's just focus on the good sides of 2020. If you had any good sides, what they were, mate?
Well, it sounds corny, but this is a good side to 2020. The pubcast.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Yeah, you go. Wow. No, this is good fun. This is really good. I enjoy it. Like I said, we've always had that thing where we needed to just keep it a fun thing. It's about as professional as we can get it, I think. With the
I can't believe how bad it is, considering how hard we have tried to make it better. We just fucking up all the time.
I know. We actually have had meetings to discuss improving the show, and I'm not
Luckily,
sure.
there's no HR. Luckily, there's nothing.
No one took a pen
our
to that
asses would have
meeting.
been fired in the first week. We would have been fired in the first week.
Oh,
I got an email
No.
today. We're like number 14 in the hobby section of podcasts in Australia or something now. There you go. I don't think it's
Wow,
true, but
really?
I'm still going with it.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
get some votes in there, people. Start rating us now. Now
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
give us
If we got a chance, if we got a shot at the top 10, let's get it going.
Let's make it happen.
No, look,
Apparently,
I've
we're
got to
big
say,
in Norway as well. I don't know about that.
this is big in Norway. Okay.
Like I
Of
said,
course
I
we
don't know
are.
if it's a reputable email, but it just sounded good, so I just thought I'd throw it in there. I don't give a fuck anyway.
Let's run with it.
Like,
No,
we
I think the podcast is one of the consistent highs of 2020. And just, I guess, the other side of it is just in terms of that, the knife making community, for the most part, I think we've all stuck through it pretty well. We've all banded together to make sure that we're, as happy and as safe as we can be, and that we're all doing something reasonably good and productive out there. I think that's about it for 2020. And obviously, like I said, the other part that comes in is what I was just asking about before with who's your favourite guest. We've had some really, really good characters on this show to talk to, have fun along with. One of them's that bastard from South Africa. He's a no-show for a little while now, but
Henning the bastard.
You mean the
spending
of South Africa?
Yeah, that's it. Big in Norway, tiny down under. That's how we roll, Steve. That's how we roll. Yeah, look, what's the highlights for you, man? What have you got put on the table?
2020. I think I want to go a bit deep, personal. So, first couple years of knife making were challenging in terms of like having almost like fucking cabin fever. You're by yourself. You're not talking to anyone unless I talk to you and all that. I'm really grateful to have this opportunity on Thursdays. Like this is like a fucking getaway for me. I get to like escape and just bullshit for an hour or two. Connection allowing, my fucking other conditions allowing. But for those who don't know, like I'm an introvert person. I have a few friends and I don't do Facebook much, but getting a community here and also getting interaction with a lot of the guys here, it's great. Talking to people or vice versa, or again, when you go to knife shows and people come to you and they talk to you and all of a sudden you're thinking like, shit, I don't know this person, I forgot their name. All of a sudden they mention that they know you from the Knife Making Down Under podcast. It's great. It's great that we managed to create a community. That feeling has been one of the highlights for me for 2020.
And the fact that you got 2 subscribers to your OnlyFans page.
Yes. Oh,
I enjoyed the content. So does Corin.
Yeah, it's all right. Let's put some more clothes on. It probably be a bit better.
Yeah. We're not in there for the nudity, mate. At least wear socks, please.
Just the one would be fine. Yeah. Look. Anyway.
What about you, Corin? What about you? What's your highlight of 2020?
Well, the highlight for me was the support we got from our customers. That was definitely the highlight. I mean, we got a couple of negative reviews. If you go and check out our Google reviews, we've got people shit canning us for delivery times and stuff, and that was fine and acceptable, and we understand. But the fact is, most of the customer base just got in behind us and supported us, and it was really good because we were struggling. We struggled all through it, and we're still sort of at the tail end. We're still struggling, but we're getting better at it. We saw levels of growth that we haven't seen in knife making since 2013-14, and it was phenomenal. I mean, it's just phenomenal, and I can't stress enough how important that was for me in a business where knife making was a little hobby business that I got shit canned for starting, to being a gas business, the construction industry, everything's fucked. There's hardly anything happening, and knife making is not only carrying us through, but pulling us through. We couldn't even get JobKeeper. We didn't even come close to qualifying. We weren't down at all. So I just got to say thank you very much. Thank you so much for everybody, because it was a hell of a wave. and it wasn't easy for anyone. And I appreciate we'd let a lot of people down, and we're probably still letting a few down. But if you saw it from our perspective, you'd see just how big a difference it was. Like, you couldn't have forecast what happened this year. You just couldn't have forecast. No way in the world. I maintain that. My crystal ball was broken. So really, really thankful for the positive support. If anyone wants to get on Google, leave us a positive review. And if you get onto Gamaco's page and get a knife making down under t-shirt set, there it is there. Sorry. They help us out as well. They help out us three to do this.
Well, speaking of JobKeeper, I kind of want to talk on behalf of me and Kev. I mean, we both make, we're both full-time knife makers, and what we make is not a neat product. When this shit happened, when this, I mean, let's face it, let's talk about the shit part. When this COVID happened, I was concerned. I'm sure Kev was concerned as well, because what we make is not a need. People can't live without the fucking knives. People can't live without buying a hunting knife, or they can't live without buying the expensive chef knives. And when it sounded like the whole fucking world was going down, I was really concerned. I was thinking, shit, what am I gonna do? What if people stop buying? In some ways, it happened because for people who know, I have two brands. I have my custom lines, Townsend knives, and I also do Hunter Valley blades that I was creating for the chefs. My second brand, the Hunter Valley blades, took the biggest hit ever out of the probably last 8 months. Probably I sold like 8-10 knives out of the series, because I was aiming professional chefs, and most of the professional chefs were out of work. But luckily, I had a loyal base. I had loyal supporters. Even through this shit time, they were still purchasing, or I was still getting custom orders. I have to say I'm really lucky, because not everybody needs to have a expensive kitchen knife, and
No,
I
that's
was really
exactly
lucky.
right.
Yeah, same
That's
thing with
exactly
the
right.
case. And yeah, what did you think about that, Kev? How was your situation?
Oh yeah, look, for me, because I sell a reasonable amount of knives, but what I really have that passion for doing, and what I do with the most enthusiasm, is my classes, and I promote my classes, and that literally stopped with that announcement of travel bans, borders closed. And a part of that also was because we weren't technically closed off from New South Wales, but I can guarantee you from a couple of the pages, Facebook group pages for Canberrans, there was a decision that had to be made. I guess I was concerned initially about the COVID virus, and then not really worried about it too much. I have to say, I'm not. The statistics out there say be careful, but don't panic too much. But in a business sense, my bread and butter business, the classes, literally did stop overnight, and I had to refund a lot of vouchers, prepaid classes, and I watched a healthy bank balance drain down to I'm giving up business because I just can't afford to keep going on. And I had the same thing as you. I actually had a couple of really good custom orders come through. Right, I have to admit, right when I fucking was at the bottom of the heap, I had a couple of really good custom orders come through from people that admitted that they were in an industry where they were still employed and getting cash in, and that they wanted to keep people like me going, and they wanted one of my knives, and now was the time to do it. So I actually had a couple of really nice orders, really good customers that just seemed to kick off that thing where custom knife making actually started to increase for me a lot more than it was, because I was spending so much time doing the teaching. Yeah, the custom orders came in, and that was actually a really nice change too, because I was like, oh, well, now I get to focus on making these things more for customers, for orders, because my usual thing is to build up stock between knife shows, between knife classes, and then go to a knife show, sell a good amount of that stock, and then when I have time, make knives for the next knife show. And that didn't happen either. So I've still got drawers full of knives. I'm a bit slack in promoting my own stuff, but at least I can tell you the first knife show that we do have, I'm getting 2 tables. I'm getting 2 table suckers. But no, there was a lot of the good collectors and interested parties digging deep and keeping people like us going. There were times where it was pretty tough, and you know, it was that weird decision because you're like, man, it's getting tough making knives. I should go and get a job. There's no way you're going to get a job under those circumstances because no one was hiring. And so I was like, well, so we survived, came through, and I have to say again, with the restriction on the travel easing and all the rest of it, the people that are booking into courses are nothing less than just fucking crazy enthusiastic and so much fun to have here because everyone's champing at the bit to get out and do something, and now that's what they're coming to experience. So for me, it's even better because the enthusiasm level of people getting here is just unreal, and I can't fault it. Every week or every class that I run, it's just been unreal. So I'm really enjoying that part of it as well.
I see.
Good stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Oh, well, there you go. I just got onto the Google reviews. I shouldn't have done that. We had one, another one. This guy, Kieran Bamford. There you go.
I thought you were on Nasty Naz's Instagram page.
No, I would have been smiling. This guy, this is fine. He's put it all up on its public review, right? So he's put it up there. He ordered a kiln off us, and we had a container coming. As everyone knows, we bulk buy. We put them in containers. They take a while to come. And then we had the container, which was due to arrive like last week or something. And only last week we were advised that it's not even on the boat. It's sitting in American customs. And we didn't even know that, right? So this guy was carrying on really angry at Cole. I heard the conversation over through the office.
Yeah, wow.
It's just disappointing when we didn't even know. We couldn't have done anything about it, so I'll just have to wear that one. But whatever. We didn't even know that. He said, "You don't even know where your stock is." No, we don't know where the stock is. When we're told by a shipping company it's on a boat, it's on a boat. But anyway, it's been some rough times, and shipping at the moment is atrocious at the best of times. Anyway, you don't even know when the ship's coming in or what's happening. So we refunded him though. So there we go. Move on.
Yeah, well, that's
Next one.
Again, testament to the business that you guys do. You know, there's plenty of people that might have just said, suck it up. Well, you just got to wait 6 months till it gets here. But
No, we don't.
On their money back, they've got a choice. Everyone's got a choice. This is the thing. Everyone's got a choice in how you react to stuff. And that sort of becomes the measure of the person you are. If you go off your chops and write reviews and ring up someone like Cole and bark your head off for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you do, you're not putting yourself in the good person basket at all. And happy to see you later, like cut you off, see you later, done, bye. But
there's no doubt.
Take it on the chin.
There's no doubt shit goes wrong. Shit goes wrong from time to time, and it's like, I get it. But what he's not looking at is I've got $150,000 in that fucking container, right? I can't sell. I can't do anything with them. I've got customers that are upset, most of them taking it on the chin and most of them being very, very positive because they understand there's nothing we can do. We're in the mercy of the freight company and the US Customs. There's nothing I can do until they're ready to clear it.
Well, Corin, I think people have to understand knife making equipment and all the consumables, they are special items. So if you say right now, if you want to go out and buy yourself a cola or Coke or something, there's options everywhere. You can go to Servo here, you can go to it's plenty. Let's say you want to buy yourself a jeans. The options are getting slightly limited. Size and the color and the shit. But when you talk about knife making equipment, unless it's been made in Australia, like some of the grinders, some of the equipment, everything has to come into Australia. And once you order something, you're at the mercy of the shipping. You got zero control over it. You got zero control over it. And all you got is a fucking tracking number. That's all you can do. Same thing,
So you've got-
not much different for knife making. For us, we make the knives and we send it, and all of a sudden there's delays in the shipping, and you get the messages, it's taking too long. Sorry, let me just tell the post guys to fucking deliver faster. No, we don't have the fucking option.
No, I don't know. I don't need it. The glass kilns, we've done them, brought them in as a sort of more or less a container stuffer, and I don't. If you're going to get treated like that, why would you bother? Like, we're just trying to help them out, and they're only buying it from us because they want it cheaper, because we can do it cheaper because we bring them in huge containers. That's the only reason. They're not buying off us because of any other reason. There's no loyalty involved, and I've got so many happy customers before COVID and before the current shipping issues. And I just heard then from Cole there's a container or something's come in with a beetle in it, so Australian customs have quarantined. What can you do? What can you do? I've got hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up, and you can't. I just don't understand how. We've let them down, but geez, I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I said, most other businesses would have gone bust over it. You guys, thankfully, are in a position where that's not going to happen, and we can just hold on and all tie daisies together, hold hands, sing Kumbaya when it does arrive, and be happy little knife community.
I liked it better when we didn't take deposits, and that's something we're doing now more and more. Is just we're just going to bulk buy what we think we're going to sell and just fucking sell it when it comes in, because the whole taking deposits thing's where it always falls down, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same, and part of it with me in the teaching side of it is with doing vouchers and taking prepayments. And as I said earlier, that first time fucking travel restrictions came into play, I watched thousands. I fucking spent days doing bank transfers back to people for money, that looked nice. My future was bright for a little bit of time, and then it was really bad. And I've actually started sending out to people that I don't really do vouchers anymore. I'm a sole trader. I'm a one-man band. If you want, I'm booked still. Thankfully, I've got to say, thankfully, I'm booked out 4 or 5 months in advance still, which is unreal. But I'd say I don't really do the vouchers. If they're a local, I'm being a bit picky choosy here. If they're a local Canberran, yeah, sure, let's do it, because if travel restrictions hit, you can still come over. Doesn't matter. But for the most part, I'm saying just write the person a nice note. I'd like to get you a Kev's Forge knife making class for your Christmas present. Then get them to ring me, book in an actual date, and then I'll send you the invoice. It sort of works out the same. But for the administrative hangovers, it's not ideal for other people, but it works well for me. And that's just how it goes. But we try and do our best. That's the funny thing is, in our industry, we try and do the best. Everyone fucking goes out of their way to do the absolute best that they can. And it's ranging from the new guy that's making, his startup knives to get his customer. Most of the people, 99% of people are doing the utmost best to make the customer happy in our industry.
I'm gonna have to disagree with this comment from Carl.
Which one? Oh, the one that's up now.
We have it so good in
So
Australia. No one has it easier. Yeah, go for it.
No. You guys go ahead, man. Like, if anybody, if anybody who were trying to make knives like yourselves 7-8 years ago, were you doing everything to find the grinder plans online and all that stuff, trying to see if cut it short. No, we don't have it. US or other European countries have it easier than us. Yeah, Australia is not bad, but thanks to a lot of the efforts of the people like Corin. But yeah, Australia, when you buy things in Australia, you have to pay 1.5 times what you pay in US because of the shipping. and because of the
Well,
bulk
and the
amount that
exchange
they
rate. Yeah.
exchange rate,
Yeah. So
it's
it's like time zones.
it's never
It's
been
like
better.
time zones, right? It's
Yeah, you got to get
it's like
time zones
time.
right. If you don't get
Seriously,
time zones right, how are you going to get fucking anything else right?
what? Yeah, there's not much that you're paying 1.5 times for more really when you take into account GST, which is 10%, which is your tax, and when you take into account your exchange rate and the shipping's not from us anyway. It's not normally that bad. Depends on what the product is. Yeah,
Yeah.
depends on what the product is. Some things like anything that we buy in bulk, like 1084 stuff like that, it's comparable. Should be totally comparable.
Corin, from your end, but if a knife maker is trying to buy individual items, the shipping is almost prohibitive.
Right. Like from US or from
Yeah, like if a knife maker is trying to buy, I'm trying to compare to the times 5-6 years ago. If you were saying, okay, there's no local 1084 that I can buy off Gameco or something, let me just buy from Alpha Knife Supply or whatever company from US, you would have paid $150 for a bar of 1084. Just like making up the number, but that would be pretty much the reality. Instead of paying $35-40.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We are lucky, but we're definitely not the easiest in the world. That's for sure.
Yeah, I will say
No,
per
no,
capita,
I agree.
Australia has one of the best knife making scene. I will say like
Oh
per
yeah.
capita, Australia has one of the most talented knife makers. I'll give you that, but in terms of lucky, I wish we were.
Yeah, there's some bloody good blokes out there, I have to say, with knife making. I've met shit tins of people that I like. And then I've also met Anthony Kittle and Owen Ward. See who's paying attention. No one. Yeah, it's good stuff.
These are doing well too. I gotta give.
The biggest thing we've missed this year is that personal interaction with everyone. But this sort of stuff, I've thankfully got a phone account that has fucking like thousands of text messages and hours of talk time on it, because I've spent more time this year texting and talking to knife makers than I ever have before. And I've got to say, apart from the fact that if I'm really busy in the middle of like doing grinding or something on the machines, I always appreciate a phone call. Or if I don't have my phone turned on to...
You never answer your fucking phone.
I know, because I never have it on audible ringtone because I'm on my machines.
Oh.
I answered the phone to Kittle. We have a good chat every now and then. Sometimes we even talk about. Yes, very good. So, what else? What else we got, guys? It's leading very close into Christmas time. We're only a week out. For me, where I'm at in life,
What was the best knife you made in 2020?
What was the best knife that I made? I got to be honest with you, I like a couple of the last ones that I've just done. I did the prosciutto sword that I just posted up, and that was I reluctantly took that order on. I have to say, I reluctantly took that order on because it was a fucking big ass blade, and I was like, it's just, I don't want to do that. But I did it because it was an order that came recommended from another friend customer. And I really liked the one I just posted up with the Darkham on and the bog oak handle and the.
Was that on Instagram? I can put it up on the screen if you want.
Yeah, I just posted it up a couple of days ago or something. 9-inch chef out of W2 with the Hamon, bog oak and Brazilian bloodwood, and I really fucking like that knife. Like I fucking really like that knife. That's probably my favourite, I think, and it was a nice way to sort of finish off the year. it sat there. I have to say that blade sat there. I get picked on a lot by my mates because that blade sat there on my tape workbench. Literally for months, it was sitting there. And then finally one day I was like, "No, fuck this! I'm going to finish that." And as I ground it back, I think I got to like 320 on the disc, and I could see the hum on. Then I started to get a bit excited, and I was like, "Oh fuck! This is actually. I think this is going to be better than I thought it was." You know, and yeah.
Which one? The middle one?
Middle one, yeah. So the middle one is the one with the dark hum on. That's a 9-inch chef, ancient Russian bog oak and bloodwood spacer. And the one that was on the previous screen that was to the right of that was the no, I go the other way, sorry. That one there's the prosciutto
right.
that I just did. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
like, so that
man.
yeah, that actually was I was pretty fucking happy with that. That's a fucking lethal thing. It's just out of 2.5 mil, 12C27. I left the spine exposed when I put it into the kiln, so it would actually get some of that oxidization. Quenched it and stuck it straight into the fucking plates, and it stayed straight. And then tempered it in the angle iron, so it's fucking stayed straight. And then grinding it was that. Keeping it straight while grinding it was that difficult thing, because I don't know if most people that have ground a stainless blade, in particular thin stainless blade, will know if you do too much on one side, your blade starts warping to the other side. And yeah, that was a real sort of tricky fucking one to keep straight, but it all came together nicely. And that's got some African blackwood carbon fiber pins and a mosaic pin in the middle. So between that and that dark hum on, they're my two favourite ones, I think, and saved them right for the end. What about you, Mert? You've done some nice knives this year.
What was that, Cap?
I said you've done some nice knives. What's your favourite?
Oh, it's like when you say what's your favorite, it's like asking a father to pick among their kids, like which one they like most. But saying that, I had two knives that I will say they were better than all the other ones I've done this year. First one was I will say that the second one, my second favorite, is the integral Damascus knife that I did recently, probably 3 weeks ago for Brett Pound. It was a raindrop pattern with the ringigi handle, with the ringigi matching saya. I was really happy with this knife, and I really paid attention to etching it. I etched a few cycles, and when you were holding the knife, you can see the shimmering of the pattern. I was really happy with that knife. But I have to say, if I had to pick one knife that highlight of the year, that will be the chef knife I've done in the wood steel with the walrus ivory handle, with the frame handle and the bronze bolster. That was a quite special knife, and I'm glad that knife went to a good collector of mine. That's the second Woods knife that he got from me. Yeah, I'm glad that it went to a collector who appreciates it.
Yeah, nice. So I had a question on the side. Sorry, I can see in the thing from Scott Gregan that says, so the Kev Custom Cutlery is higher class than the Kev's Forge brand. No. Kev's Forge is my forge. Kevin Slattery Custom Cutlery is my cutlery arm of that business. Why? Because Facebook are fuckwits and won't let me promote my fucking cutlery. If I make hunting knives, I have a separate page for it. And my signature on those chef knives actually says Kevin Slattery Custom Knives, because that's what I wanted. So no, it's just a marketing thing, Scott.
Facebook being assholes.
It's an evolution of branding.
Zuckerberg.
And it really just is fuck you, Zuckerberg, you cocksucker, because you'll let me watch people die of electrocution, but you won't let me sell a fucking kitchen knife because you say it's a weapon, you fuck. Anyway.
Oh, it's a weapons. You're a weapons dealer.
Yeah. Well,
Here's a
how do you think about us? We don't even sell knives, and they still
I
ban
know.
us from advertising. I have a
And that
permanent
fucker-
life ban
that fucker's-
on advertising on Facebook.
That fucker's wealth grew
Permanent
about
life
$40
ban.
million since February.
Everything's banned now. I can't get anything through. I can't even try. After I tried to promote Tony
Anvils.
Earwaker's. No, yeah, that was funny. No, Tony Earwaker. I tried to promote a post of his about using
right.
knife making to treat PTSD, and then they slapped a
Yep.
ban on me. So yeah, they're just dickheads. So, anyway, forget all that for a minute. I actually made one knife this year. It's the best knife I ever made. I'm super proud of it, and I just need to get some pro shots of it. So it's a really the black mulga ring, black mulga handle barrel knife, sterling silver, bronze, and McIntyre Damascus. I'm really proud of it, and the fit is it's as good as I've ever done. So I'm happy. Yeah. So there you go.
Nice.
So Scott Gregan says he's literally been advertised drugs on Facebook. Yeah, well, that's all right. So yeah, there you go. I'm on constant review for selling a length of steel. Yeah, Aaron, welcome to my life. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that's a good time to call it quits.
I think I'm just going to finish up by saying thank you to all of our listeners for the support over the year. Don't forget to jump onto Artisan Supplies, buy a T-shirt set from us. The T-shirts are good, even if your wife will complain because it says "fuck you, Kev" on the back, but that's okay. We're okay with it.
Wear that one in the shed. Wear that one in the shed, and wear the tools making tools out in public.
I wear this one everywhere, and the sloppy Joe that goes with it, but no one else has it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've got the same. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you guys have it. Yeah.
That's a way that you can support. That's a way that you can support the podcast, and get something cool out of it, like merch wise. We don't do GoFundMes. We don't do other funding platforms. We do have the generosity of Amoco being our sponsor and footing most of the bills for this thing. But we don't ask much or a lot or often, but we'd like you guys to actually be able to get something out of it rather than not. But yeah, I'm with Corin. Thanks everyone very much for listening in, chiming in through the highs and the lows of it all. And Merry Christmas. Have a safe New Year. If you're traveling anywhere, be safe. Watch out for dickheads on the road. And we'll be back on board at a date to be advised next year because we haven't got that far in working that shit out yet.
That's too professional, bro. Come on. Be realistic.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try. I mean, I am still a great believer that we can turn this bus around. Like, I wear a suit every day. I'm all super professional at work.
Mate, I used to do that. I don't want to do that. No, curse you, suit wearing hippies.
We all done that shit in the past. That's what we run away from.
Yeah, that's why we're on
do it.
now.
I do it every fucking day. I'm over it. Over the bullshit. Anyway, never mind.
I don't even reckon I'd fit into my suit anymore.
I'm going to go and respond to some fuckers
around the waist.
Google review where he paid. I found out he never even paid a deposit, so that's even funnier.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks regulars. Pop on to the local podcast place that you listen to us. If you listen to this in a podcast, give us a review. Get us up to number 10 in the Australian craft-based podcast. That would be really funny because
tell us how to find out where we actually stand because I don't really know. I just got some weird email today.
Yeah,
it looked official, but it could have just been a spam thing. I don't know. I'm just going with it. Yeah.
Did they offer you a free Leatherman, Owen?
Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, choppers.
Stay safe. Don't forget to leave an Artisan Supplies Google review if you can, just to fucking. Oh, and Artisan Supplies Facebook because he did it there as well. Good luck to him. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
All right, see you, everyone.
Bye.
He's gone.
We're still live, man. Let's actually turn the podcast up now so that we actually give some decent content.
I'm glad fucking Corin is gone. Now we can talk about real stuff like knives, not those bullshit barrel knives.
Oh fuck 'em.